name is Janet Rounsville. I'm an instructor here at Concordia University, St. Paul, and I'm going to demonstrate blood transfusion. Hand hygiene. Hi Anthony, my name's Janet. I'm going to be your nurse today. Can I get you to verify your name and date of birth for me, please?
Yeah, it's Anthony Johnson, 5985.
All right, and do you have any allergies?
No.
Okay, and I see here that you signed a consent for blood products. The doctor has ordered you to have a blood transfusion today. Do you have any questions about the consent or risks?
No, he went over it pretty good.
Okay, and I just want to review the side effects of a blood transfusion reaction with you, or the symptoms that you may experience if you have a reaction. So it could be shortness of breath, abdominal pain, pain in your back, itching, rash, increased temperature, and increased heart rate. I'm going to also listen to your lungs just to make sure that they sound clear before we start, and then after the blood transfusion I'll listen to those again, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so I'm just going to set this consent over here. I'm going to take a listen to your lungs here, and then I'm going to get some vitals on you.
Sounds good.
Take a big deep breath in and out. Alright, and can you sit forward for me? Big deep breaths in and out. Good. Lungs sound good there. Are you having any pain anywhere?
No.
Okay, good. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to verify. It looks like your hemoglobin is low at 6.8, and that's the reason we're going to transfuse you here. And it looks like they tested your blood and you're A negative.
Okay.
And I'm just going to check my orders here. I'm going to verify that I have an order. So packed red blood cell for transfusion. And so we'll go ahead and get that. And then, so here's the order for the transfusion. And we'll go ahead and get some vital signs here. So I'm going to take a full set of vitals.
Temp is 37.
Pulse.
60.
Blood pressure.
120 over 60.
Respirations.
14.
And oxygen.
99.
And you said you're not having any pain.
No.
All right, Anthony. I'm going to go ahead and go get the blood from the blood bank. Do you have any questions before I leave?
Nope, I don't.
Okay, so I will be back. I'm going to do my safety check. So bed is low in locked position, side rails up ×2. Here's your call light. Call light is within reach, and bed alarm is on if indicated. All right, Anthony, I will be back.
Okay.
Hand hygiene, exit the room. Now we've got our blood from the lab here. We've got our blood bank slip that shows Anthony Johnson, medical record number, ABO and RH, his date of birth. Shows the blood product, A negative, the unit number, volume, and the expiration date. So we're going to take the blood bank slip and the blood unit in, and we're going to verify with 2 RNs in the room against the patient's armband and against the sheet with the blood unit. So we'll go ahead and go back in. Hey Anthony, it's Janet again.
Hello.
Just going to do a double verification here with our blood and our blood bank slip with your armband.
Okay.
So I'm going to have one of the other nurses come in to verify this with me, okay?
Sounds good.
And she's going to bring in the rest of the supplies, the saline and the flush, and the tubing and stuff, so, and gloves. What size? Or small? Small.
Very good.
Yep, so Anthony, this is Kendra. She's one of the nurses here, and we're just gonna be double checking some stuff here. So first, if you wanna check his armband, I have Anthony Johnson, medical record number 990338. Date of birth is 5/9/85.
Yep.
And we have a unit of packed red blood cells. It's A negative. Unit number is 0049-034. I have 300 milliliters. Expires on May 9th at 1:30.
Yep.
All right, so we'll just sign this off. All right, and then we'll go ahead and document this in the computer.
Okay.
Excuse me. All right. All right, so in the EHR, we go to blood transfusion or blood administration. We're going to click on, there was no medications ordered for pre-transfusion medications. Anthony, have you had a transfusion in the past?
No.
Okay. And I explained to you what the side effects are for a reaction.
Yep.
I saw that you had your consent. I verified the order. And the patient's number was 990338. We have packed red blood cells. The unit number was 0049034. A negative. Blood unit type is a negative. It's 300 milliliters. And we won't fill this out. We'll fill in one was ordered and one will be transfused. Patient or my name is going to go here. And then Kendra will put in her name here. Okay. And then we have our vitals in there, less than 15 minutes. So we have to make sure they're within 15 minutes. And then now I'm going to prepare my blood, and then I'll put the start time in when I'm ready to get it going. So I'm going to apply gloves. And Anthony, when I first start off this blood, I'm going to stay with you for the first 15 minutes, okay, to make sure you don't have a reaction to it.
Okay.
Tubing opens like a bag of chips on the side with the perforation. I'm going to take my paper off. I'm going to close all 3 clamps on the blood tubing. I'm going to grab my Y sites up here with my end of my tubing. And you can use a 250 bag or a 500 bag of saline, it doesn't matter. The saline's just going to prime the tubing, and then we're going to run saline after the blood is infused to make sure all the blood gets into the patient. So we're going to go ahead and spike the saline. It doesn't matter which side you use. Go ahead and hang this. We're going to only open the saline drip chamber. We're going to leave the lower chamber locked. So we're going to open that up and go ahead and squeeze the drip chamber to get some fluid in there. And then we'll go ahead and open our lower clamp to prime our tubing completely with saline. Once that is primed, we're going to take one of our antiseptic caps off, and we're going to attach our line to this. Or if we are not ready to do that yet, you can either do it that way and start running your saline, or you can prime your entire tubing with the blood and then hook it up. My preference is to prime the whole tubing with the blood. It doesn't really matter how you do it. You just need to start your transfusion start time from the time that the blood reaches the patient. So it might take a little longer if you don't prime the tubing. I'm not going to hook it up yet because I'm going to prime it with the blood. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blood. I'm going to go ahead and spike my unit of blood in the other. Before I do that, I like to also prime this tubing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my saline open. This one's open, and I'm going to slightly open this one to back prime this tubing so that there's saline in my other port. I'm then going to remove this, spike my blood, and now I can hang my blood. I want to go ahead and at this time clamp my saline tubing. I am now going to, with this bottom clamp still clamped, I am now going to open up my blood, give my chamber a little squeeze, and now this is where you can prime your entire tubing with your blood. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And once it gets down to about the port there, I go ahead and clamp it off because I don't want to lose any of the blood product. Okay, and now I can go ahead and hook to my patient. And this has antiseptic in it again, so all we have to do is remove this. And we're going to connect here. Once that's connected, we can go ahead and load our tubing into our pump. We're going to put it on blood product on here. You're going to set your rate at about 100 to 125 to start off for the first 15 minutes. So we would load our tubing into our pump. We'd open our bottom clamp here and make sure our blood clamp is open. Set our pump. We can remove our gloves now. Hand hygiene, we can document our start time. And then we're going to monitor our patient for 15 minutes. 15 minutes is up. I'm going to check for any signs of transfusion reaction. So, Anthony, are you having any shortness of breath, chest pain, back pain, itching?
No.
Okay. And now he's not having a reaction. I'm going to recheck my vitals. I would document my 15-minute vitals. And now I could turn my pump up to 200, 250. You're going to run it at a faster rate. If it's a younger person, if it's an elderly person, you want to probably run it a little bit slower. Now we're going to fast forward in time. It's been a couple hours. The blood has infused. Once the blood has infused, you're going to note, you're going to clamp off the blood and you're going to open the saline, and you're going to run about 30 milliliters of saline in through the tubing to make sure all of the blood gets into the patient. Once you're done with that, you'll disconnect, flush with the saline, and put a new green cap on there. And then for documentation, we're going to document the stop time, so it would obviously be 2.5 hours later, so we'll just say 10:30. Transfusion complete is yes. Volume infused, we said it was 300 milliliters. They did not have a reaction, and we're going to submit that. Okay, and we'll submit that. So we would have gloves on when we disconnect this and flush it. If the patient does have a transfusion reaction, you need to, at the time of reaction, stop the blood immediately. You're going to clamp everything off. You would disconnect, then you're going to flush this with saline, You're gonna leave the line in. If it's a peripheral line, we do not remove the line. We just flush with saline. You're gonna take tubing and all, everything, and you're gonna send it back down to the blood bank because they'll test the blood. Again, you wanna check before you leave and make sure no reaction. You wanna do your safety check, so bed is low in lock position, side rails up ×2, call light is within reach, and bed alarm is on if indicated. And that concludes our blood administration.